sure you got. You did it for 2 years. You know the routine, man. Come on.
I'm just testing you, see if you know.
So, did you enjoy that?
Yes.
No. Did you enjoy that?
Yes.
Fantastic. So, who'd like to ask my question? No pressure. Come on. George's got a question.
George, yes, George.
He's pretending he's got a microphone.
So, thank you for such a content-rich talk. You know, I think if people have failed to take anything from that, they've not listened at all, because that was amazing.
Thank you.
The question I wanted to ask, in your experience, when you were trying to work with those roots, the 3 self-images, ideal, what were the challenges that you overcame personally to kind of shift those thinking to make it really strong for you?
So, what's your question?
So, for the 3...
Yeah, self-ideal, self-image, and self-esteem.
So of those 3, in your personal experience,
yeah,
what shifts did you make to really anchor those strong?
Personally?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a good question here. Good question, George. Give him a hand. Many years ago, this was big for me, by the way. When I learned this concept, I thought, oh my God. Many years ago, 1999, 2000, 2001, I wasn't, someone said to me, Mac, in a few years you'll be speaking in front of thousands all over the world. No way, that just wasn't me. I was not, I had a little IT company, my thoughts weren't even there. And I attended a Yes group, so I've been a member since 2000 or 2001, something like that. I used to come in a room, I used to sit here, sit there, and I used to take notes. I used to listen, watch, listen. And so it's a long time ago, yes?
Yeah.
And taking on what I learned, and also been introduced to certain people, certain companies, going to seminars, being coached by different people, I managed to change my life around. Okay, because I started thinking bigger. You remember I asked the question, how many of you are here to play a much bigger game? And let's say this is a small you, this is a big you. I had to start thinking, who is the big me? Who is the big me? And so it was all of that. It was the self-ideals, self-image, self-esteem. And one of the big things for me was financial freedom. Because at the time I had a huge amount of debts, lots of debt. And so over a number of years, I started turning that around and started looking at self-concepts of wealthy people. What did they do? And luckily enough, that IT company was sold out, got rid of it, focused on real estate, built that into a multi-million-pound real estate property business, became financially free. I still own that business. I own 3 different businesses now. I'm able to run my business using a better foundation. So for me, it was all of them, not just one particular one. And so those who know me very closely, that know that I'm not the loudest of people. I'm very very humble. I am who I am. Yeah, but when I've got information to share, then I get a bit passionate. How many people realise that? Very good. Thank you, George. Great question. Thank you.
Who else would like to ask now?
Chris.
Good. Just,
Common situation.
Yeah.
I'm Chris, everybody.
Hi, Chris.
Common situation I find myself in is sitting on a desk daily, feeling absolutely tired. I get here, this is true today, right? This morning, I was like, oh, tired. Got to work, oh, I feel tired. During the day, oh, tired. I'm here now, right? I'm not tired at all. I am not tired one little bit. What's going on there? So can you tell me about this?
Okay, very good. Why aren't you tired, Chris? Why aren't you tired right now, Chris?
I thought you told me that.
Look, let me say this. Because right now, you are in an environment, that is supportive of you. How many of you are like, this is a very safe environment, yes? It's a very supportive environment. And have you had some fun so far?
Oh yeah.
Have you met some interesting people?
Oh yeah.
Okay, very good. So, it looks like, what's your work? What do you do, Chris?
I sit in front of the computer all day testing
Right.
software.
Good. And so you're doing that all day.
Yep.
I can sense from your spirit, from your
Spirit.
that's not you sitting there in front of that. That's not you. You come in here and suddenly we see Chris shout, oh yeah, that's you, Chris. That is your true spirit. That's your authentic self. That's you. That's what's going on.
Thanks.
Do you understand what I'm talking about, Chris? So yeah, so you're doing something 9 to 5 or 9 to 6, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, are you happy doing that?
No.
Right, I thought that would be the answer. Okay, do you see what's going on now?
Yeah.
That's why I asked you the question.
Yeah.
But within seconds, we kind of established you're not fulfilled in that role.
Yeah.
Alright? I gave you a microphone just now and I said, look, go and talk to everyone. You be in your element, right?
Yeah.
How many people see that?
Yeah.
Give Chris a hand, guys.
Can I have a question for Mac at all? Harry.
Harry.
Just that. If you've got a client who is just wants the results,
Yeah.
focused on the results,
Yeah.
how do you get them to pay attention to their self-concept or any of the other levels?
Very good. Very good. Give Harry a hand. Good question. I've had clients who want to pay me a lot of money. And they say, Matt, really, I'm not interested in all this hand clapping, high five stuff. Cut that out. Get me the result. Who knows what I'm talking about here? I won't work with them. I don't work with them. I don't need the money. I don't work with them. Do you know why, Harry? I've done it before. Who's that, Phil?
No.
Who's that? John? Hard work. It's hard work. They've got years, if they're in their 40s, 50s, 60s, they've got all those years of self-esteem issues, self-image issues. And if I can't get to the root of their self-concept, it doesn't matter what what result we want, we won't get it fast enough. It'll be short-term, it'll be short-lived. Because some people self-sabotage, which is a little voice thing. So I work with them, initially on their little voice, getting this right, which goes to the root of their self-concept. Personally, from here to here, that's what most coaches do. Let's go for that. And this is short-lived. You then stop working with them, right, Harry? Stop working with them. Come back a year's time, they'll go back to their old habits. It's a little voice thing.
So do you find that out, like in the first session? I mean, how do you understand that they're not prepared to change their self-concept?
Why wouldn't they be prepared to change their self-concept?
Because through habitual conditioning, they don't maybe believe that there's a self-concept to change, or like I said, they're not interested in doing the hard work to get to that point. So how do you discover that to begin with? I mean, in your first session, you say, look, I'm not about results, I'm about this.
No, that's not what I'm saying. In my first session, I say I am about results. Because that's what they pay me for.
So how do you know that they're not prepared to go to there?
I'll take them there. I take them there. Because if from the knowledge I have, from the experience I have, and the way I've changed my own life around, if I just go after the behaviours, which I used to do in the past, before this was available to me, if I do that, it's short term. Because in a few months' time, we'll start the whole thing again, and my staff are not doing this, and we said we're doing that, and they blame everyone, and they deny everything, but guess who it's down to? It's down to, they've got issues within themselves that they don't want to address. So, as a coach, Harry, do you want my advice? Yeah? Okay. My advice would be, very early on, yes, we're going after results, but you are in control of driving that result, yeah? So, I say to my clients, look, sometimes you're going to love me, sometimes not so. How many of you want a coach who just does what you say? How many of you want that kind of coach? How many of you want a coach that challenges you to be much better than you are now? Look around the room, Harry. People want challenge. But there's a way of doing it. And I teach people how to do it elegantly. What's the word? Elegantly. There's a way of doing it elegantly, and there's a way of really doing it which destroys even more their self-esteem, which destroys their self-concept. You want to talk about that furthermore anytime, Harry? we can talk about that and give you some tips on how to do that elegantly.
Thank you.
Is that all right? Very good. Give Harry a hand, guys.
Thank you. So, amazing information, Matt. Thanks for sharing it.
You're welcome.
If the group want to take things further and know more about what you do, how can they connect?
Right, so we've got a table at the back there, with my colleagues there. So Grant, wave your hand, and Mariana. Good, Mariana over there. So what I thought I would do is we have a program called Little Voice Mastery Workshop. Little Voice Mastery Workshop. What's it called, please? It's a 3-hour program. Yeah, I've only been given 40 minutes, 45 minutes here. So I really gave you a flavour of it, but we haven't really gone deep enough. So if you want to go deeper on this stuff, we have a workshop, it's £147. Okay, so you're more than welcome to come and join us. It's on the, what's the date? The 9th of May, Wednesday 9th of May in the evening. We go, it's £147, but this is what I've done for the Yes Group. You can come as my guest! Come as my guest, and we go deeper into this. It's on the question you're asking. We start working on the steps to that. It's all about the little voice. It's all about the self-concept. It's all about results. But if you can start managing your little voice, which is what the 3 hours are all about, give you an idea of what. Seriously, it's up to you. Look, come as my guest, or equally pay £147 to come along. I'm not really fussed. If you're interested in that, then go to the back there, see Grant and Mariana, and fill out your information on the sheet there, and I'll send you the information on that. I will be teaching that personally. I'm not in the. I travel a lot. Tomorrow morning, I'm in Munich for 3 days, 4 days. I'm in Munich teaching. I think we've got 2,500, 3,000 people there, so I'll be involved in that. And so when this call came up, I had a choice: go today and miss the Yes Group. No. So I postponed my flight to tomorrow, so I can fly out tomorrow to Munich. But I'll be back in time for that, and I'll be teaching it myself. Yes? If you want it, fill out your name in the back, and I'll see you on the 9th.
Okay, it's fantastic. Thank you very much.
If you want to speak to me about other stuff, feel free as well. Okay?
Thank you.
Very good.
Matt
Thanks, Mark.
Attram.